Primorje is a region situated in the very south of the Far East. Its maximal length is almost 900 kilometers and width 290 kilometers. The half of the border is the sea. From the south to the east, our region is washed by the Japanese Sea. Primorsky territory is 9,000 kilometers and 7-hour time zone far away from Moscow. Vladivostok, its capital, dots on Trans-Siberian Line that connects the Russian Far East with its European part. But the end of the Trans-Siberian Line is just the beginning of the way of opening our mysterious Eastern Russia. Primorsky territory is cloaked in fog of mystery that we would like to open by all means, and it is covered with the sea spirit. Beach and island rest, loved dearly by residents, attracts tourists from all the Far East, Transbaikal territory, and Siberia. Salty air, sea breeze, and the sun setting behind the horizon and leaving unbelievably pink traces. The most famous beach of the territory is situated on the coast of the Lazuna Bay. People call it Shamura. Clean coast and pleasant wave are combined here with mountain landscape and lonely atmosphere, the resort. But for classical beaches, there are unique ones in Primorje. People in this region know well the sand in the beach is not necessarily white as in the booklet of a tour agency. There is a beach black sands in Alud Bay. Its name says for itself, the way to the sea is laid by volcanic sand, the color of wet asphalt that has some medical properties. There are more than 50 islands, big and small, unnamed and famous, inhabited and empty in the coastal zone of Primorje. Anyway, in summer they become the real tourist enclave. According to the scientists' assessment, there are about 520 unique natural objects in Primorje. These are the mountains of full legends, mysterious caves with stalactites and stalagmites, waterfalls, ancient extinct volcanoes, lakes. This is the largest freshwater basin in the Far East in Primorje. It's Lake Hunka that was included into the list of the region attractions to determine 10 new Russian symbols. It is so great that the northern part is in Chinese territory, and it is so cinematic that legendary Japanese film director Akira Kurosawa decided to shoot its film Berju Uzala that got academic award. As this lake is quite shallow, it becomes warm earlier than the sea and open swimming season. In the end of spring and the beginning of summer, strong winds blow along the water surface, and windsurfers arrive here to meet the first wave of the season. Besides, Hunkaysky Reserve is organized here. About 334 kinds of birds inhabit her. 44 of them are included in the Red Book of Russia and 12 to the International Red Book. There are some national parks in Primorsky territory. It's no mere chance that the tiger is shown in Primorje's emblem. Striped predator's natural habitat is right here. Far Eastern leopard found its home here in Primorje too. That's why on the 5th of April, in accordance with the decision of Russian government, there was added the new national park, Land of Leopard, to the working one, Call of Tiger. Safari Park is a wonderful wildlife corner in Shkotovsky area of Primorsky territory that lets you meet with inhabitants of Ussuriskaya taiga and its master Ussuriski tiger in its natural habitat. Safari Park is 4 hectares of forest divided into the Park of the Hoofed Animals, the Park of the Predators, the Park of Birds. Maximally natural and comfortable habitat conditions are created here for the animals. The population of Primorje is about 2 million people today, including representatives of indigenous small nations. Village Krasny Yar, the home of Udigay, was chosen by tourists long ago. Shaman dances and local color attract culture experts and historians from all over the world. There is a unique attraction at Nakhodka, archaeological complex Paleo village that consists of reconstructed habitations, workshops, and even shaman's tent. Way of life and culture of the indigenous nations of Primorje are shown at the exposition under the open sky. Historical thematic park Izumrudnaya Valley next to village Utyosnaya, not far from Ussurisk, is of great popularity at tourists. It's the very place where the idea of reconstruction of habitations of different epochs, from Paleolith to Russian stockade towns, is shown in reality. The head of our country does not leave without attention such a unique and strategically important territory as Primorje. The decision to spend Summit of Countries of Asia-Pacific region in 2012 was determining. Owing to this decision, Primorsky territory got unprecedented investments. There was built modern infrastructure for life and tourism, created new traffic centers and interchanges, started new airport that is going to get the status of international hub. Owing to economical forum, guests of which were the representatives of 20 countries of Asia-Pacific region, Primorye strengthened its positions and became more attractive for investments. There were reached important agreements on investments to economy and tourist cluster in the forum and after it. Particularly, company Melco informed about its intentions to invest to the gaming zone, which is preparing to launch $700 million not far from Vladivostok. On the whole, Primorye demonstrates growth in all spheres of economy. It concerns the work of major industries, inflow of foreign investments, realization of the whole number of the prospective projects. For instance, the Far Eastern Oil Gas Chemical Cluster forming in Primorye. The nuclear of it is going to be the Eastern Oil Gas Chemical Complex, and the key task of local authorities is the development of transport complex, forming international transport corridors, modernizing of autoways, ports, and its infrastructure. It's worth to mention that annual passenger traffic has already made about 500,000 of people after opening the new airport. Federal investments would be enough to make Vladivostok as one of the leaders of the Far East. 2 5-star hotels, Hyatt, appeared here. The playing zone is going to be opened. Super modern campus of the Federal University is launched. Guy record-breaker bridges are built. Grandiose theater of opera and ballet is ready to accept the best world troupe. If Primorsky territory is a rich natural world and interesting history first of all, then Vladivostok is a modern, romantic, and attractive city that does not yield to many megalopolises both in economy and cultural life. Film Festival of Countries of Asia-Pacific Region, Pacific Meridians, taken place for the 11th time in 2013, makes System for Culture of the region. While Asian films are shown in the cinemas, jazz is listened to in the Philharmonic Society. Annual Jazz Week, that has recently celebrated its 10th anniversary, is a present for city's music lovers. The cultural life of Primorye capital is quite rich. Festival of Contemporary Visual Arts, exhibitions, concerts, pictures of Primorye's landscape can be seen at exhibitions all over the world. Classical museums and lofts get along together in Vladivostok. It's natural that creative atmosphere of the city fosters not only audience but also creators. Youth festival Noise Level appeared in Vladivostok. Here, first-time talents take part in. Here, for example, there started the history of Mummy Troll, a soloist of the band Ilya Lagutenko, made kind of a record in 2012. He gave 2 concerts a day, 2 in the furthest points of Russia, Vladivostok and Kaliningrad. Primorsky territory is developed in all the directions. One of the main is sports. Closeness to the sea leaves its trace here. Vladivostok is a sailing capital of Russia. Water sports are developed in Primorye most actively of all. So we are proud of our bronze prize winner of the Olympic Games, repeated world champion in boat and canoe racing Ivan Stil. Truly established Russian athletes go to Primorye to acclimatize before Asian competitions. Newly made infrastructure let them do that on the highest level. On the 27th of September, the team Admiral, the beginner of the Continental Hockey League, played its first home game. The match of the second professional team in the Far East took place in the newest arena named after the senator from Primorsky territory, a legend of the world hockey, Vyacheslav Fetisov. Primorye is a unique region. Football, basketball, and volleyball are equally strong here. Teams in its divisions fight for medals, struggling with the strongest athletes in the country. But even if you are not interested in sports of high achievements, you'll like sports spirit of Primorye. Fans of extreme sports from all over the world choose this territory long ago. Primorsky territory is a wonderful place for rafting, diving, and cycling. International tour on aquabike takes place in Primorye. All this is compound and integral part in Primorye. Experts say that the best fishing is right here at both in the river and in the sea. There are 179 marketable fishes in the Japanese Sea and about 100 fishes in the lakes and rivers. Primorye and Vladivostok were mystery for tourists for a long time because the capital of Primorye was founded as marine fortress to guard eastern boundaries of Russia. It's necessary to see at least one of forts of Vladivostok Fortress. It's a complex of unique defense works built at the end of the 19th, beginning of the 20th centuries. The fortress belongs to the number of the most powerful maritime fortresses in the world and recognized as a monument of history and war-defending architecture. Fragments of war war fortress is carefully guarded by historians, the members of digger clubs, and attract history lovers from all over the world. It was only in 1991 when President of Russia Boris Yeltsin signed a decree about the opening of Vladivostok for visiting by foreign citizens. Today, a call of luxurious cruise liners to the city's seaport is joy, but not surprise for the citizens. People from all over the world calm down from the ladder to meet the city and its history. Cityport leaves traces on every soul. Vladivostok is very young, beautiful, modern, romantic, and smart, especially at night. The work on architectural lightening of buildings started some years ago. Rostral column and the main post office at the railway station square became the first lightning objects. Later, hundreds of stroboscopes appeared on the television tower that lights the way to citizens like a huge lighthouse to ships. Now, light accents are made on residential buildings. City never sleeps. Cafes and bars situated everywhere in the central Vladivostok streets are to citizens and guest services. Everybody can find adventure to its taste in Primorsky territory, from ecotourism on ancient caves and picturesque waterfalls to getting into the atmosphere of Russian Macau. The gaming zone in Moravina Bay, from international and youth festivals to great economical congresses and, of course, sea rest. Primorye is a territory of unique possibilities, territory open towards the world.